So, with audio on, it's obviously a much better live stream. So, welcome to the very first live stream. Let me know, guys, if you can hear me well as see me well. You know, this is the most important thing, I guess, in a live stream. So, the comment section is on. And I will definitely have a look here. I know what you're thinking. I still have to figure a couple of things out and everything, and you say to yourself,
ain't nobody got time for that.
But it will be really worth the time. Okay, let me know if you can hear me well. However, first of all, I would like to go with you directly into the market, because the market is absolutely flying. So actually, you here in the beginning of the day, we had a little bit of downturn from the highs yesterday, and then we actually just went up, and even here in the late afternoon we went even up higher. So you see that the market is in really good sentiment, and we will dive into things why this is. Obviously, a couple of things. First of all, it was quite interesting to see that I said this multiple times in my vlogs. In the end of the day, this is a health crisis resulting a financial crisis or a global economic crisis, and that therefore you have to really see what's happening on the end of the health situation to evaluate how this will affect the markets. And then obviously we can see that this happened. Let us just dive in a little bit more into the market. As you can see here, a couple of stocks that I just recommended in today's video. So if you're interested into that, which 7 undervalued stocks I recommend currently, things like Shopify is more than average with 10%. Flair Systems is quite interesting because they're doing like thermo systems that let you measure body temperature, and I think this can be a very big thing after the crisis. We have Varta, it's a German stock that creating small microscopic batteries for AirPods, for example. And if you're just looking at this chart here, you see that it went up 200 300% until it dropped just recently. In my opinion, a little bit too much, because it's still a very stable business, very interesting sales targets here, because in the end of the day, one of the main clients is Apple. But all of this obviously in my vlog that I just posted today. Now let's talk about a little bit what drives the market. First of all, I can tell you that looking into the health situation, we got a really good comment by the advisor of Donald Trump, Mr. Dr. Fauci, who said, we will have to begin a couple of good news after this week, or maybe the week after, and this in combination of the lower getting cases in Europe as well, we obviously have a quite positive outcome for the market. But this is not only the one thing that will drive the markets today, it's also the oil, and this is something that Donald Trump just posted a couple of days ago. When the oil is uncertain, and if the oil is uncertain, and we see a very much tension between Russia and Saudi, this is obviously giving additional pressure to the overall leaking demand, right? So there's leaking demand on the one side, but also on the other side, it's the uncertainty that this oil war is adding to that, and obviously this is not good in any market, and even with a fragile market like this one is totally a disaster. And finally, Donald Trump just said this in a tweet, that he spoke with those and that Saudi is already talking with Russia, and Russia then just a couple of minutes later went out and said that this is not true. And obviously this is typical Trump here, obviously.
No.
So we can really find this funny things over the whole trading week. This makes me smile because at the end of the day, they seems to get on the table, and just as we speak, the oil markets are getting very much a surge, about 8% just as we speak. So this means maybe there is already a deal. Maybe there is an OPEC plus deal. A meeting is by tomorrow. Just be aware that tomorrow, especially in the US, it's the last trading day of the week, because Friday is off. So maybe tomorrow we can see a bit of profit taking off the table, because this week was totally amazing, and therefore I believe that we can maybe see tomorrow a little bit of getting profits on the market. But I want to go with you a little bit more deeper into the main topic, which is sky the new limit for the stock market at this point? Now, obviously, what we see here, in my personal opinion, is a typical bear trap, or a bear market rally. Sorry, beer is something else. So we see this, and this is, let's say, 4 or 5 times the case in a whole bear market, that actually, people are getting in. The market was always oversold after the situation. And I want to show you a graphic right now, which is this one. And this is a graphic by Standard & Poor's, so S&P, and they are showing us here that on the 19th of Feb, we had a PE ratio in the whole S&P 500 of 19. Then we had the drop, then we went back up, and then the current consensus estimate, so the people are estimating the PE after the earnings will be 16.8. So they are thinking that the earnings will be quite good, so the price that is now on the higher side is justified. But actually, if we are looking into this graphic here, you see that the fresh estimate, and we have more and more data to come, is about 19. So actually, think about that. In February 19, we had the same PE ratio in the S&P 500 like we had in right now, but right now the market is 20% down. So on the value perspective, the market is actually the same, but still the prices are 20% less. So this is very dangerous, because obviously it's overvalued, right? And on the other side, this is also a short announcement for tomorrow's vlog. If you're interested in that, make sure to watch my vlog tomorrow, because I will dive into that by tomorrow. What else we have? Obviously, people are asking me how certain you are that we are going more down. And I will tell you something. If I see news like that, Tesla will slash employee pay and furlough employees. So I can see this not only at Tesla, but I can see this in many companies, especially also here in Dubai. I know a lot of companies that are already cutting the employees' salaries. But in the end of the day, you see that this is overall a common thing, or this will be a common thing, that people will, we will also accept this, because, what is this good, or is this, better than having no job, So in the end of the day, we will see this many times. And if you are thinking that this is the new normal, that companies will have no demand, have problems to produce, they will cut their salary, and therefore also the consumption power of the people of the whole world. Yes, I'm quite certain that this is not the end yet, and therefore, I'm waiting on the sidelines here to see what's going on. Another driver for the market, though, today was also the Fed is releasing their minutes of meeting from their last meeting, which is actually the Federal Bank in the US are meeting every now and then, all right? And when they are meeting, they're writing everything down, what they think about the economy and what they will do or might do with the interest rate. And this is very important because economists and investors are looking for, okay, what will be the price of lending money? Because in the end of the day, as cheaper the money, as more investment is going on, as more people will take a credit for investment or for personal consumption. So in the end of the day, this is a very important one to watch. And they just released this minutes of meeting, and it says that they will definitely leave this a couple of until it's really seen that the economy is doing better, right? So this is a very good sign that the money will keep on being cheap, which is in the end successful or positive news that drove the market as well. So let me just see if we have a couple of questions here. I can see and hear you fine. Well, this is a good news. Would you say that, can I somehow, no, I cannot, sorry that you have to wait a little bit sometimes to me figuring out something, it's the typical scene where, I need a minute.
6.5 hours later.
But anyway, so here's a question from JJ. Would you say that would you say that you have fear of missing out on Tesla? No, I don't have. I think that the current market environment is just unfolding itself in the more downturn selection. So I see Tesla, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I will miss out, but I don't have fear because in the end of the day, always remember the stock market goes down and up, not in a straight line but in zigzags. So the zigzags can be up to years. We have seen in the financial crisis that this bear market rallies were quite long, up to 14, 15, 1 month even, and the overall crisis went 2 years. We had 2 years we went down before it went up, and we saw a bottom. So I'm not really having fear to miss something out. Let me see, what questions do you have? What are your thoughts on rates such as PV? When is the time to buy Tesla? Will it go down? Okay, here's Swaroop also asking about Tesla. Obviously, my channel went into the Tesla mode since the summer, which was good. Whoever was on board could enjoy from $178 to $968. But obviously nobody can time the market, so I will not even try to time the market. I'm just thinking, the next couple of months will still be unfolding of the health crisis, and therefore, I'm still happy to wait on the sideline and buy on heavy discount in the next couple of weeks or months. There's also a newbie saying there's a strong resistance at 550. If you are looking back into the market today, we have a pretty good day, as you can see, and Tesla is barely barely moving, you know. So this is obviously a sign that maybe there is a resistance, without looking now into the chart. But on the other notice, you know, remember that they had pretty bad news with this employees, cut of salaries and so on. So I think this is weighting a little bit on the market. Let us see. It seems there's yeah, okay. So thank you very much for watching for this very first test live stream. And I'm very curious to make this as much as I can. It's super interesting, you know, and sometimes I have to figure where is what, right? I think this will be something that it's still will be quite interesting to figure, you know, which button is for which in my live stream. But in the end of the day, you know, it will be fun. It will be quite interactive. I have to see where we need to be in time-wise. Would you rather have this live streams before the market opens, in the middle, after the market opens? Let me know, guys. I'm open for suggestions, and I maybe see you tomorrow, depending, you know, if you're watching my vlogs, daily vlogs since the summer. I didn't miss maybe I missed one or two, but subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I see you tomorrow.